Hello and welcome to the Tryptophan 500 here at the Daytona International Speedway for the r/NASCAR off-season series. I am your host. I am the Waller 67.
I am PM Your Birds.
I am Volfil, and
And yes, it's a beautiful day here at Daytona.
we have a wonderful race ahead of you. So without further ado, let's get to your starting lineup as the cars continue to grid. Starting on the pole is the number 75 of Y2KSE. Starting on the outside pole is Skilliam. Starting in third place we have John Burroughs, and starting in fourth place we have Brockman 44. Starting in row 3 we have JG2483 and Juan Carlos. Starting in row 4 we have that looks like Papa Smurf 31 and
JJet 14.
yes, Jet J14. And starting on the 5th row we have Srilif and PM Your Bird. Starting on the 7th row is Greg Jennings and Silent Hastadi. Starting on the 6th row, damn it, that's not.
That's Professor 00, and I think that's Zero Sock. Oh no, that's you. That's Volfil.
No,
Nope,
that
that's
would
Zero.
be Zero Sock.
Damn you and your matching cars.
And I actually have timing now, so without further ado, 16 is Captain Cheesehead, 17th is Q109, 18th is Asspacker, and 19th is Smoky Bandit 29, 20th is Sawzy 17, 21st is Vandit 86, 22nd is Thrillif, 23rd is Double O Negative, 24th is I Am the Waller 67, 26th is Legends Racer 98, 27th is Greg Jennings, 28th is Captain Matt 15th, and to the rear is the 23 car of Unicorn Buttsex and Volfilla and Zero Sock, who have all elected to voluntarily start at the rear for this race.
Probably not a bad idea.
Okay. Some of our new drivers this week would be John Burroughs, Honeywise, JJet14, and also, oh yeah, 3 is for Dale, decided to miss this race, so he will not be in this one. Coming through 3 and 4, we're about to go green.
This race is scheduled to run for 50 laps.
We got 50 laps scheduled today here at Daytona, and it should be a good one. So hold on tight.
Second race of the season underway. Here we go.
And immediately, Greg Jennings is off to a very bad start. Looks like Asspacker as well has a bit of a problem getting going.
Looks like who jumped out at the start there, that was the 420 car of Matt 90679.
So not the best start, and we can already see 2 distinct packs forming.
Yeah, the middle of the pack really got separated from the front. Well, someone must have had a bad start there. And we got a tight race coming to the line for who's going to lead the first lap. Is it Y2KSE or Skilliam? And Y2K will have. Silent Hassadi teleporting all over the track. That's a really useful skill.
I don't know how well that's going to work out for him with these tight drafting races. If you have a car that's jumping all over the place, it's not going to be good for other people. Is this the rear view from Skilliam? Looking at Brockman 44.
And it looks like 13th and up has separated from the rest of the pack. And it looks like we got a group
Man,
of
that
cars
shot
just
really
lining
shows
up
you
back
how
there.
important it is to stay in the draft early.
Zero Sock and Volfilla voting to stay in the pits for that start.
Unicorn as well on the outside.
They're running matching cars this week. That must be a pain in the ass for their spotters. How inconsiderate.
Looks like RaceFan 78 and Q109 are also off the back there, possibly hoping to stay out of the big one.
And we'll see most of the drivers come down into a nice and orderly line on the low line. It's just where you want to be right at the beginning of the race. There's no reason to make a big move, cause nobody wants to be the cause of the big one.
And how many do you think we'll see today?
Compared to last week, about 10 crashes. That would be my guess. 10 cautions.
You're expecting 10 cautions this week?
Totally.
I think I'm going to set the over-under at 5.
I'm gonna say 5. Although everyone seems to be running pretty tight so far, so hopefully they keep it up.
Well, that start did separate out the pack, so until they start grouping up again, it's going to be very unlikely to see an accident. Of course,
Yeah, it looks like they're settling in for the beginning.
Looks like most of the back of the pack is starting to line up so they can catch the front half of the field.
Brockman 44 and JG 24 on the outside there. I don't think they're going to make it work with the tandem, though.
Yeah, they've been trying to make it work for the first 5 laps here. I'm not quite sure if they're going to be able to reintegrate with that pack on the low line.
Well, I don't know. They're hanging in there right now.
It is important to note that in iRacing, as a
Oh, and a little
difference from
contact.
racing, that the drafting here is a bit of a hybrid, and that the tandem works best in a group of tandems. So it's kind of a hybrid between pack drafting and tandem drafting. So what you'll see is that you'll see lines of cars that are just, driving around, not trying to get into each other or cause accidents. Then you'll see like the ZVR team here, they're tandeming, trying to get enough speed, and when you get 3 or more of those tandems together, you're going to see the fastest lap time.
And we have a shot at the empty pits for some reason. Aren't they nice?
More people moving out to that outside line. You see Skilliam, who started second place. He came in to the inside, and now he's back outside again. We'll see what he can do out there. Also seems like most of the drivers aren't willing to risk going 3 wide this early in the race.
Yeah, there's really no point in going 3 wide. It's just asking for trouble. He says as they go 3
3
wide down the
for
front
lap.
straight.
Yeah, I think that was not so much a competitive thing and more just a cooling down thing. We'll also see.
No, they were definitely just listening to us and decided to make us look like a bunch of morons.
One thing that is important to note about this fixed setup is that everybody is running the same setup, and this setup is notorious for being quite tight in the corner.
Yeah, they really do tend to push when you go into 3 and into 1.
So I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of 3 wide action that wasn't even intentional. You're just going to see cars get up there and basically have no control over what lane they go into.
As we see Zero Filler Racing leading the backpack. It's usually a pretty good idea to hang back early in a restrictor plate race like this. It's really good to help you miss the big one.
Not quite sure
this
how
race goes
good.
green.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good thing if that race stays green like this.
And just looking at the back, they're not very organized, so they're not going to be able to keep up pace with the speed pack here.
Skilliam and Birds outside, running that high line, trying to take first and second place away. And it looks like Ooh, it looks like Skilliam's going to lead that lap.
That's good for a bonus point.
Second lead change of the day. Actually, it might be the first lead change. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Y2K's led every lap so far. A selfish bastard.
You know, looking back, that second pack isn't very organized either. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the lead pack unless they get into a nice tight line. Oh!
Oh, and we got trouble. Oh, it's got Sarah Left, Dennis, Race Fan 78. Saucy took a huge hit back there. Caution is out. Believe Legends Racer may have also been caught up in that. Yeah, Sarah Left is heavily damaged.
Back of that 88
Legends
car is
Racer-
battered.
Legends Racer is still at speed. Dennis, Race Fan 78, and Srilif are all stopped on track.
Ooh, it looks like Legends Racer just hooked Sarah Left. That's just an
We're on
unfortunate
board
act.
with Race Fan 78 here.
Nowhere to go.
It looks
Tough to
like
then get race set up.
Legends just got a little high on the outside and tried to cut back in to get back in the draft and misjudged it.
While that was happening, the 6 and the 20 managed to close down on the low side and took away first and second from Y2SK.
Silent Hastati was in the grass back there for some reason. Guess he thought that the lawn crew missed a spot, wanted to help him out.
Should be first and only round of pit stops.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to come in at this time. Yeah, tank of gas and fresh tires should get you the rest of the way.
Oh, and that is Wings Fan 99 staying out.
So he's going to get to lead a lap.
Oh, and it looks like Skilliam overshot his pit stall. He's going to have to back up. That's going to cost him some time. Looks like Y2KSE did too.
And John Burrows is going to be first off it.
Yep, took no
Technical
tires,
here,
just
look.
took gas. And it looks like
For a
Y2KSE going to be off with no tires too. He's going to come out second. Papa Smurf 31 up 8 spots, taking no gas, taking 2 tires and gas. Looks like the 1 and 2 leaders, Skilliam and PM Your Birds, are down 5 spots after taking 4 tires, sorry, and gas.
Birds did not take gas.
Yeah, I don't know how good of an idea not taking gas is, but I guess we'll see. Maybe he's banking on another caution.
That's a pretty bold move here. I'm wondering if there was some miscommunication with the pit crew though, because he did take 4 tires, so I don't see why you wouldn't take gas in that situation.
The gas guy was on potty break.
The pace car is
pulls
it.
up. Not everyone's back around yet, but I guess we're going green.
Well, that is really surprising.
Bit of a glitch.
Oh,
with
and it
the
looks like
causing
Wing-
system, it would seem.
Looks like Wings Fan 99 is going to pull off to the high side, let some of the faster leaders by.
He already got his bonus point. He's good. But John Burrows powers to the lead, pushed by Y2KSE. He's got Papa Smurf and Juan Carlos behind him. Juan Carlos, of course, the winner of last week's Lowe's Blows 500, presented by Menard.
That was really weird caution right there. It seems like even most of the leaders kind of got spaced out during that restart.
And they're still spaced out. That caution was cut by about 2 laps, I think.
Wingspan 99 falling back to 5th place following that restart.
But he's got help now from JJet 14 in the Budweiser car. Skilliam and Birds leading the second pack. You know, I gotta say, I love seeing all those classic paint schemes up front.
Yes, who could forget the classic popsicle scheme?
Okay, maybe not all of them are classics.
And that classic axe scheme and that classic Culver scheme and that... You get it?
I do get it, yes.
Culver's is an American classic, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, my hometown just got a Culver's. It's alright.
And we'll see him settling back down on that low line. Still a lot of laps left in this race.
Conga line.
Well, let's see, the 6 on back group managed to fix that deficit that they had by catching up to the rest of the pack, but I don't know about, let's say, 12th on back. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, not without a caution. That gap is too big.
Well, if you just look at the cars in the back, they are not working together at all.
And then you've got some of the damaged cars back there from that caution. And also some people who didn't take tires or gas and are trying to hold the lead.
Oh, there's Dottie down below the yellow line, and he's going to get freight trained.
Yeah, these cars are way too spaced out to do anything.
Lap 15 of 50 laps completed.
Looks like I think Captain Matt got shuffled out there for a while. He's back in line now.
Stotty all the way off the back now.
Yeah, something's got to be wrong with that car. He's just off the pace and out of the direct.
Correction, that lap. Oh!
Oh, trouble. We got Greg Jennings in the grass across the bus stop, and he is not slowing down. He's going to
Oh no, he's
right
gonna
up
come
onto
back
the
up that
track.
high side. No. Oh my gosh.
Oh, my. Big wreck. Caution is out.
No,
That
Caution's gonna come out for that one.
I count at least 7.
Yeah, I'm at about 7. Both of the ZVR cars. Greg Jennings. That looks like Smokey Bandit. I am the Waller 67 smoking. Ass Packer with some smoke out the back.
Remember, kids, smoking kills.
I think that was not Sawzy.
I think that is. I think that's the professor. He's one of
Yeah,
the
I
only
believe
ones in the
so.
red car.
Correct.
Looking at a replay now.
I believe this is from Zero Sock's perspective.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That
there's
is
nowhere to
correct.
go.
Well, it just looks like he tried to bring it up back on the track. I'm not sure about that.
Brockman 44 barely making it through.
Ooh.
Yeah, once it starts, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it puts an end to a lot of good cars days. You hate to see that.
Looks like Zero Sock so close to making it out of that crash. Looks like he just got hooked by the 36 car.
Well, this is a game of inches, and that's just more evidence.
Okay, we're back under caution with 18 laps completed. Boy, this slow replay really drags on.
Just like these cautions laps do.
Well, thank God that iRacing bumped up the pace lap speed at Daytona to 80. It used to be like 65, 70, and that took forever.
I think it was about a minute 50 a lap.
Alrighty, it's time for some track facts for today. The length of Daytona International Speedway is 2.5 miles long. Banking is 31 degrees on the turns. Pit road speed is 60 miles an hour. Pace speed, as you said, was 80 miles an hour. Expected tire wear is low, and brake wear is non-existent, as always. Average fuel run, 30 to 35 laps. Our average pit window was 20 to 35 laps, although I'm pretty sure our main pit cycle has already gone through.
Yeah, you can get about 30 to 35 laps on a tank of fuel here, but if you're in the draft, you can usually get about 40, 45.
And speaking
Not
of
much more
fuel
than that,
runs, I did not see birds coming to the pit.
John Burroughs leads after coming out of pit road without taking any tires. He's managed to hold on to that lead by just sticking on the low side and just working with teammates. That's how it is here.
Yeah, in iRacing, you can usually win at the restrictor plate races just by hugging that inside line and not letting it go.
And the lights are off on the caution lights, so we're going to go green. Hopefully with everybody better prepared.
Yeah, I think everyone's ready this time.
Alright, here we are going green with how many laps to go? 30?
Should have about...
Should be about 30.
Yep, this will be lap 20.
Back in action here at Daytona.
Having on board with Juan Carlo.
Yeah, hard to miss that neon arc.
And there's the Axe Chevrolet of Skillium, who finished 3rd place last week.
Yeah, I bet you he wants to get out in front of that Tide car. He's probably sick of looking at that bright orange bump.
Yeah, especially after getting a chance to lead before that caution came out, the first one. And then losing the race off pit road, unfortunately.
So while we're still mostly single file here, why don't we go over the retired. That would be Dennis 8963, went out on lap 9 due to that first incident. Also out on lap 9 is Raceman 78. He did not make it back to his pit stall. Sawzy 17, also involved in that first caution, went out on lap 11. I think he tried to get some repairs done, but not going to make it back out. And in the lap 17 accident, we had Volfilla, Captain Matt 15, Zero Sock 40, 24. Greg Jennings, Legends Racer 98, surviving that first accident only to get caught up in another one. I am the Waller 68, made it back to his pit stall, but I believe he retired shortly after. Bandit 86 is a lap down. And so is Smoky Bandit 29, also caught up in that accident. Asspacker as well, bringing up some of the last lap cars. Sorry, I am the Waller 67. I'm leading 4.
How dare you? And I thought we were friends.
That is Asspacker coming back into the pit, still with heavy damage, I imagine.
Yeah, I think his competitive day is over. He's just sticking it out for points.
One car on the outside there. Who is that? Oh, it looks like
I believe it.
J-Jet 14.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, he's really managed to hold his own out there. All by himself, no draft.
He's kind of catching the draft off of John Burroughs there as he pulls out in the corner.
Well, it looks like someone's going to come up to help him. I think that's the Professor 00. Oh, and there's a
Somebody
car
in the wall back
there. I think that's 00 negative.
Can't tell from that angle. '75 Y2KSU has been locked on the back bumper of John Burroughs for a full lap there.
Yeah, and as that happens, you'll see the 14 start to fall back. They realize they got to get moving or they're going to lose their lead.
Poor car on the apron.
On the inside.
Manages to hold on to it and doesn't, you know, slide back into the pack and kill everyone. So that was nice.
That's going to ruin the outside line for now. Looks like the top 5 car is going to break away.
Unicorn all out alone on the outside there.
He also
Yeah, he
did
made a
not
pretty
take
good run up to the front.
any tires during that pit stop.
Oh, that's an interesting call. No gas, I understand, but no tires.
Well, you know, here at Daytona, the tire wear is relatively low. You're not going to see much benefit from the tires, which I think in a race this length, you're going to want to at least take right sides at least one, just to avoid the car getting too tight.
He's really bringing it outside there in the corners. And then the straights bring it right back in, so get that draft. Trying to get a run on the outside.
Looks like he's going to have help here.
Bird's running that highly illegal two-tone paint scheme. NASCAR's going to frown on it.
You know, that's the second time there we've seen a bump draft gone wrong in the tri-oval.
Yeah, tri-oval's not a particularly great place to try bump driving. In my experience in it.
You're doing a bit of truck racing here a few weeks ago, weren't you?
Yes, I was, and that was both interesting and terrible. I love restrictor plate racing, but restrictor plate racing does not love me. Did manage to win one though. That was a lot of fun. Just felt like I had this force field around my truck because I drove through like 3 wrecks and managed not to get into any of them.
Yeah, that's always an awesome thing, but it doesn't look like anybody here today has that.
I'll tell you, I could have used a little bit of that myself.
Unicorn is really sticking that car up high. He is going for it.
Yep, with about 20 laps to go. Sorry.
Of course, he is one of our higher-rated drivers in the field, so he definitely has the ability to pull off a move like that and not lose as much time.
And with 20 laps to go, it's usually when you want to start making a move towards the front. He elected to stay in the back during the start. And I guess now he decides it's time to go.
Well, the Professor and J-Jet 14 moving to the outside. They're looking for a challenge for the lead. And we got slow cars
on
up
a
ahead.
tandem. Lap down.
Whoa, man, that's close.
Almost missed.
And you know that most of our drivers aren't really, they're not professionals. But running 3 wide at Daytona is just not the smartest idea. Most professionals can do it, but it's just not a recommended thing to do here.
Actually, I think I did a count, and only 7 of our drivers or so have I ratings over 2,000.
I think our only pro license is 3 Espadale, right? He's not here this week.
Correct. But we do have a handful of A classes here. And B classes. And rookie classes.
Yeah, it's a good variety. And the Unicorn
Yeah, like I
shuffles
said last
back.
week, it's a really good way to get some experience with some of the higher guys without having to work your way up through the normal iRacing licenses.
And without ruining everyone else's safety rating when you inevitably take yourself.
Although it is interesting is that the rookies, even at a place like Daytona, still tend to end up towards the back. Just goes to show you how hard this can actually be.
Well, how hard could it be? You just turn left for 2 hours.
Is that the Professor jumping down to that low line, or below the yellow line just now?
That was the 45 Seat with the Professor.
Jim, the guy with no nickname, right?
Formerly. We are on board with Unicorn again. Running side by side with Honeywise.
Seems to be yo-yoing a lot, getting up close towards the front, and then something will happen with the bump drafts going through the tri-oval. I think that happened to him twice. Send it back each time. Now trying to catch a draft off of some of those cars on the outside line up front.
You know, now that this race has calmed down, I think it's very likely it's going to go green. We're just, it's really just 2 files with 4 cars on the outside here. So, a 6 car PM Year Birds could very well be in trouble here.
It looks like Ass Packer getting lapped here. He's going to move up to the high side.
Well, those guys in the high lane seem to be making it work, for at least for now, but not falling back.
Yeah, I know once your tire wear starts getting really bad, you just plow nonstop. You really got to drive it deep in those corners. It's odd because you don't feel the same way on the low line. There's like no real resistance, but when you're on the high side, it'll just plow. It'll be bad.
Yeah, the way these cars, the way this setup pushes, just makes it so much harder on the outside.
Speaking of cars in trouble, Unicorn has really been working those tires this stint.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's got too much left. I guess we're settling in for the final, what's it, 15 laps now?
You're on
Yep,
lap
looks like it.
35 right now.
Man, it's got to be terrifying.
57.
Be
then.
getting lapped like that.
And terrifying
Every
for the
time you-
lapper and the lap B.
Yeah, every time you see one of those two-car tandems or a lone car that's about to get lapped, it's just that chance. Something could go wrong. There could be a netcode issue. Anything.
And you know, all these cars that are going left on are damaged as well.
Yeah, once again, just shows you how important the draft is here. That whole pack's going about 200. These slow cars are doing about 175, 180.
And also how important it is not to get into each other, not to get in any crashes, not to mess up your aerodynamics at all, because that will be what happens.
Yeah, the
And,
winners here generally just the ones that survive the war of attrition.
There's a 420 car heading to the pits.
Yeah, and the slowest cars around here are going about 160, which is a 40-mile-per-hour difference.
And that's just borderline dangerous, especially at a big track like this.
Yeah, and that is Thrillif and Sawzy, who are sorry, not Thrillif, Smoky Bandit and Sawzy, who are heavily damaged after the accidents they were involved in.
At some point, you just gotta decide for yourself whether or not the minimal point advantage is enough to warrant being out there in such a dangerous situation.
Smokey is missing the whole front half of his car, I believe.
On board with whoever this is, I just noticed he went through the third and fourth corner and he actually let off the gas. It's because you just hit the wall if you try to keep in the gas. And you saw how bad he fell back out of the draft from that.
We're actually on board
Yeah, Unicorn's
And that's
taking
doubly
some
bad
good
because
run.
he's been running the outside line for the last 10 laps now, so he's going to be in big trouble soon.
You can actually see the upvote arrow on his driver's sleeve.
Yeah, running the Josh Wise fire suit.
Oh, now I see it. I didn't notice that.
Smoky Bandit in the pits.
Oh, we got
Ooh.
contact.
Oh, we got trouble.
Oh, wow. What a save by the professor.
Yeah, I think that was a case of a car just getting tight and having to lift out of it.
It's great thinking on his part not to turn back into the crowd and take out the back end of that pack.
I'm not sure if there is a back end of that pack. Top 5 haven't changed very much since the beginning of the race.
Yeah, it's still John Burroughs, YQKSU, Rocky 44. J14 is riding around in fourth now. That position changed since the ticker started updating. And Juan Carlos now into fourth, rounds off the top 5. Skillian and Birds have taken their turn to the top 5 as well.
Well, we started with 30 cars, and this is your field now.
Well, the competitive ones anyway. We still got a couple of beaters hanging around on the screen. Or off screen.
Looks like Birds and Skillium are on the outside now trying to move. Okay. Looks like Birds is going to get in the wall on that one.
You know,
Huh,
that's Smoky
well,
Bandit into the pits again. I think he's just simply getting off the track so that the lead pack can go by.
Well, that's awfully considerate.
Well, that was the 6 and the 20 car on the outside trying to replicate their outside line success earlier in the race, but it looks like the cars are just simply too tight now. Just not possible.
Well, it doesn't look like either of them were too heavily damaged, and that's it should be fine. But yeah, the longer you go on these tires, the tighter the car gets.
Looks like Unicorn getting shuffled back after running on the outside that long. That's really kind of disappointing. I was hoping he'd get up farther in the pack. He was the one out there taking risks on the outside line.
On board with J-Jet as he pursues Bird in the corner. You know, we're on lap 43 of 50 now. There's only 7 laps to go. People have got to start making the move right about now.
Yeah, it's certainly go time. Should be in for an interesting ride here, folks. I don't think we got through this one without another caution.
Birds now as they pass the lap car. Or sorry, that's Skilly.
I believe that's Skillium.
Birds is pushing Skillian as they try to make that outside line work.
Yeah, Birds has been hooked up to Skillian's back bumper all day. And it seems to be working for them as they are moving up the line.
Yeah, but you got John Burrows, Y2KSE, Juan Carlos, Brockman 44, JG 24 all in that bottom lane. I'm not so sure they can get around him.
Yeah, all of them have been in the lead.
Yeah, that 92 and 75 are just a powerful duo. On board again with you. Oh, we got trouble! Oh, this PM here. Burns gets turned by J-Jet, or yeah, J-Jet 14. Caution will be out. Unicorn survives another wreck right in front of, but they did not.
Seeing a replay here.
Yes, I'm getting a report that PME Birds ran out of gas in the high line there, and just didn't have anywhere to go. Couldn't get out of the way fast enough. Takes out a lot of good cars.
Yeah, Birds just didn't see it coming. And if the iRacing replay system were a little bit more robust, you would probably see a fuel light flashing there on the dashboard. Or rather, a fuel pressure light.
Yeah, I think I saw the back end of the 92 was a little caved in there. Just right where Y2K has been planting his nose all day. Yeah, so it messes with the spoiler a little bit.
Well, it's important to remember here that we are viewing a replay from the broadcaster's perspective, which is myself as I record the video. And the prediction code isn't necessarily perfect, so you can get into the back of the car, and it doesn't actually damage them, it just looks like damage on my screen.
Aha. Well, thank you for the...
Yeah, I do remember that. Sorry. Good incident of last week. We had that mayhem moment of the race where I had to go straight through a couple cars crashing, and on your replay it looked like I took some damage, but on my screen I didn't take any, and my car was fine. So it is a little strange how that works.
Well, we do have a couple of leaders taking a pit stop. JG 24, 83, and Papa Smith, and I believe that's the professor back there.
I believe the
looks like
had to back it in.
Yeah, 24 missing his pit stop.
Seems to be an issue today. This is this pit there. This pit lane's a little bit faster than the other ones that we stop at, so maybe they're just not as prepared to stop on a dime.
Both pit lanes are 60 miles per hour, I believe. That we've been to.
Well, Charlotte was only like 45, and this one's 60. I mean, there's a significant difference.
Oh, you're correct. I actually think it was 50.
Yeah, I think it was 50.
I can't remember.
Ah,
I just
okay.
wait until
We're both
like the
wrong.
dash starts flashing green at me.
It looks like we're going to have a green-white checker to finish this one off, our first of the year.
And yes, the race officials are confirming a green-white checker. There are technically 2 laps to go during this caution period, which would leave 1 lap to the finish, but they have elected to do a green-white checker instead, so our fans can get a full 2 laps into the finish, and drivers can get up to speed and hopefully make something work, because you can't really do anything in 1 lap here.
Yeah, it's just about enough time to get up to speed. But yeah, this sets up an interesting scenario for everybody behind John Burrows. John Burrows, of course, is a sitting duck with the entire field behind him who also wants to win. Now, will Y2K push him to the finish, or will he try to sneak out and get a win for himself?
It looks like Honeywise, JJet14, PM Your Birds, Captain Cheesehead, and Q109 were all involved in that last accident. The latter 3 have all pulled off now. They're not going to finish this race.
Of course, we have Skilliam and last week's winner Juan Carlos also right there in the thick of it. Sure, they'd both like a win.
And you see Unicorn in 6th there. He's dodged all 3 wrecks, and he's going to be able to duke it out for the win here, I think.
Rockman 44 also challenging. He's been running up front all day. He was running up front last week too, but unfortunate late race incident knocking him back a few spots.
You know, right before we go green, you've won one of these races. With 2 laps to go, where would you like to be?
My personal preference, I want to be up front.
I would definitely want to be on the low line. Just because of the way these cars run, there's not really much of a chance of getting that high line done, especially with Skilliam liking to run that outside. He's got a lot of wear on his tires. And we're going green for our green-white checkered finish.
Two laps to go. Who's it going to be? Skilliam and Juan Carlos are going to move to the outside immediately. Going to try to challenge out there. Unicorn's going to hook up with Brockman. And they're going to pull away from the remainder of the front group.
Yeah, I knew they'd try to challenge on that outside line. I mean, that's all you can do with a race like this. If you want that win, you're not going to push them out of the way. I mean, you want to be fair about it, but I just don't know how well that high line's going to work. And you'll see Juan Carlos start to fall off the back end of Skilliam right there. You have to get off the gas through the corners.
White flag this time by. We're going to have side by side at the finish line, I know. But who is it going to be at side by side?
You know, not
Y2K
surprisingly,
pokes his nose
all the cars that are up front here have not had any damage all race. Everyone else has a bit of damage, I believe.
One final time back down the back stretch. Y2K is going to continue to push John Burrows. Brockman moves to the outside in front of Skilliam. He wants to push to the lead. Y2K stays on John Burrows' bumper.
Unicorn shoots underneath them. I don't... Oh!
Oh!
Crossing into the wall.
Caution. Oh, we stay green. Y2K pulls to the outside. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line, folks. Who's it going to be? John Burrows wins it by a nose.
With a last-minute push from Unicorn.
Y2K takes second, and Unicorn manages to slide through all of the cautions in front of him today, and he's going to take third place.
And as they come across the line, it was Juan Carlos 21 in fourth. Fifth was Skillium in that last turn wreck. Sixth was Silent Hastati. Seventh was Papa Smurf 31. Eighth was the Professor, Tim Gregory in this race. Ninth was Wingspan 99. 10th was JG 2483. 11th should be Brockman 44, but he has not crossed the line yet. And they're on back. Everybody else is a lap down. Honeywise, JJet 14, Matt 906.79, and then we have all our DNF cars, which is half the field this race.
And there's Brockman stopped just short of the finish line. It's kind of a heartbreaking image. So John Barrows is going to melt the tires off the back of that Goodwrench Chevy. Or not. He's going to take it into the grass to do a Dale Earnhardt tribute.
Yeah, I don't think that worked quite so well.
Well, he tried.
If there were
should
tire
explain-
tracks.
Yes, well, now.
Should explain since Brockman.
Sorry?
Should explain since Brockman did cross the finish line with one lap to go, he will still be scored in 11th, even though he has not crossed the line.
All right, well, I'm going to talk to the winner first. So, John Burrows, you got me?
Loud and clear.
Well, congratulations on your Tryptophan 500 victory. So, you led most of the race. So, how'd you feel on the last lap, knowing that you're definitely the target?
Well, yeah, I was a little afraid of that most of the race. I was pushing the 75 Y2K SE. I was pushing him the whole first portion there, and then when we had that first caution that came out, I got out ahead of him out of pit road, and so that put me in second. He was in third, and we just zipped right by the leader on that green, and then he pushed me the entire rest of the race. So I really got to thank the 75. But
All right, so I got a question here from Will Phillip. He wants me to ask you, who is your favorite driver, and what is your favorite official series to run?
well, my favorite driver would be Dale Sr., but if we're talking about drivers today, it would be Harvick, Gordon, and Jr. All three of those guys are my favorite. And my favorite series to run on iRacing is the NIS Fixed. I typically run that.
Sounds good. So what were your first impressions of the r/NASCAR off-season series today?
Well, this was my rookie race in the series, and I joined as many of the practice sessions as I could. And I thought overall, most of the people, there was a lot of clean racing, at least from what I saw. It seems like we have a wide range of skill levels. So some people were comfortable bump drafting, others weren't. So I think it was just kind of a mix of finding out, at least for this week, who you're comfortable running around, and then working with them, throughout the race. I'll be excited for next week at Bristol, where everybody's skill level is going to be all over the place, and you don't need a teammate to win.
Yeah, well, that'll be good information to have at Talladega, I suppose. And, yeah, Bristol should be an interesting and probably not as clean race. So congratulations on the win, and you celebrate accordingly.
Thank you.
All right, Y2K, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you had another strong run today. You led some laps last week, and you were up front for pretty much the entirety of the race today. So you held second, but you just didn't have enough to make the pass at the end. What would you have done differently?
Well, I don't really know. I would like to have pulled out on them just a little bit earlier, but I think it was the 44 there on the outside, so I didn't want to go too early.
Yeah, I understand. It's tough to come in second, but well, that's what happens in this league. So Anyway, so we got the question for you. Who is your favorite driver, and what's your favorite official series to run on iRacing?
My favorite driver is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Followed him since his then Busch Series days and his championships there. I don't really have a favorite official series. I try to run a lot of special events. I don't right now with working full time and school full time. I don't get a lot of time to race week to week.
Yeah, I got you. It's a grind out there, man. All right. Well,
Yeah, I just want to give again a shout out to the 92 there for being an awesome partner. I had a really awesome partner help me win the one of the Daytona 500 races this year on the iRacing service, and just wanted to do my part to pay it back out to somebody who was deserving.
yeah, it was fun to watch you guys tangling up front all day. Yeah, you guys seem to have a good idea what you're doing. So you ready for next week in Bristol?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, man. Can't wait to see you. So, Unicorn, you got a copy on me, buddy?
10-4.
Well, you took third place today, and you were holding back at the beginning, but you managed to avoid several big ones, and you kept your nose clean and managed to finish top three. So, have any maximum pucker moments of the day?
Well, it started off as, we all made a plan, and I was supposed to run at the 20, but you know how plans get ruined. Well, that's basically what happened. I didn't have a partner all race. I was a lone wolf, and I was just dodging all these wrecks. I don't know what was happening, and I got pretty lucky a couple times. Car would keep slamming on door by door, and I would just slow down, get out of the way. But pretty much, I was a lone wolf the whole race, and until the end, I didn't really get any help. But luckily, there was a wreck coming in turn 4, and I could claim that third spot. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty difficult to try to lone wolf it around this place. I found that out the hard way too. But so I guess I have to ask you now, who's your favorite driver and your favorite official series to run?
My favorite driver would probably be Josh Wise. There is no reason why, hint, hint. But pretty much, yeah, Josh Wise. And my favorite series would be the NIS Fixed. I've been running that every week when it was on, and I can't wait till 2015 to do it again.
Yeah, speaking of your buddy Josh, if he manages to hop into a race or two with us, who do you think is gonna win out of the two of you? You've had a strong car all year, but he's also a professional. So if it comes down to the two of you, are you using the bumper to win, or are you gonna let him have it?
He has all the fun in real life, so if it comes down to bumper, I'm going to push him out of the way and take my win, because he gets to run in the professional series and I don't.
That's what we like to hear. Well, I think that's going to do it for our interviews today. So congratulations to all three of you and everybody else who managed to survive the wreck fest that is, well, not wreck fest, but, there's a couple of big wrecks. Anyway, I'm going to stop digressing and probably going to sign off now. So I am the Waller 67, signing off for the r/NASCAR Off-Season Series.